All right, we are on part number 8. No, 9, sorry. 8 was yesterday. Today is Friday. I was going to do a whole rant on suspension, suspension travel, down droop, and all that. I'll save that for another video. Don't want to irritate you guys just yet. Anyway, everything's on. I did, however, have to take off the grease nipple. Unfortunately, the grease nipple came in contact with the silicone CV boot. So I'll show you what it looks like right now. All you're gonna see is a bunch of grease that squirted out from the grease nipple because I took that thing off. Now, is that gonna affect reliability, serviceability? Probably in the long run, but that's a chance I'm willing to take. The grease shot out, so it's not a big deal. That should protect things for a while, and if anything, I'll just change the ball joint again. Not a big deal. So we are on step number 33. So 33 involves the torquing of everything. 32 was installing the knuckle and the lower control arm. So 33 is torquing everything. The cross members, the pocket, the control arm for the pockets are 100 foot-pounds. The 20 millimeter front cross member, that's 300 pounds. What in the world? Wow. The rear cross member bolt at 254 pounds. The front differential to 127 pounds. Skid plate bolts to 29 pounds. So I'm going to do all that, and then step number 34 is going to be installing the brake lines. The good thing is that I picked up these steel braided lines, I think from Running for Tacos, I forget where. But aftermarket brake lines are a lot longer by about, I think, 4 to 6 inches. So technically I don't need to, and I'll show you on the other side. I'm not sure if the camera can pick it up, but as you can see, this is the aftermarket brake lines. These are DOT approved. This is at full droop. At full droop, there's a ton of space. So I really don't need the drop down brackets. And it says to pull down this whole thing about 4 inches. I do not want to pull down my hard lines of my brake down 4 inches. That's, I don't know, I just don't want to do it. So it's a good thing that I did get these extended brake lines for the front and rear. Now everything fits. So next thing to do is torque everything down and then start the mounting of the this. So that's the mounting plates for the sway bar and mounting for the brake line brackets in the back and the wheel sensor. Okay, so let me torque everything down and get on step 34 and 35. All right, everything is torqued down. This thing is freaking awesome. This thing, wow. It was kind of sketchy torquing it down to 300, but whatever. All right. Next step. Let's see, everything is torqued down. The next step says to locate the factory brake lines next to the upper control arm. Okay, unbolt the bracket, save the hardware. You'll need to carefully pull down the brake line 4 inches. That's what I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna pull down 4 inches because I already have the extended brake lines. Locate bracket 70061. Line drop down bracket. You're gonna put it down in a J form. So let's see, that is this. And they have, I don't know if you can see on the camera, but right there, see the bracket, see the number 70061. I'm not going to use this because, like I said, mine is already long enough. But I will show you guys. So it says to attach factory bracket to the new bracket using supplied 5/16 by 1. Remember, how are we supposed to know which is the 5/16 by 1? Or even where is it? We turn back to our parts list. Let's see, parts list. here, 5/16 by 1. There should be 4, and these are going to be in bag number 3. So I already know this is bag number 2. Oh look, bag number 3, and just measure out the 5/16 by 1. All right, now to install the other brake line bracket. That's this one. I remember I need 1/4 by 3/4, so I need 1/4 by 3/4. I know there's 14. I dumped a bag out on the ground just to refresh your guys' memory. 1/4 inch is approximately 0.25 right there, 0.251. So what fits in under 0.25? 0.24. I mean, it's supposed to be 0.25, but I know there's 14 of these guys. 0.242, close enough. Anyway, I already know that that's what it is by 3/4. So you measure not the whole bolt, but from the start of the threads. See? Exactly 3/4. Okay, so one of this tells you right and left. Part number 70063. Okay, time to put these on in the back. And it should look like that on both sides. Next step is to use the same 3/4 bolt to attach the factory brake line bracket to Fabtech's bracket. Yours is gonna look a little different. I cut the end off of mine because I needed it to fit the rough country lift, which was a mistake on my part. Anyway, time for the next section. I think that bracket could have been the ABS bracket. I totally forgot, but let's see. The next step says to remove the ABS, factory ABS line attached to the upper control arm. So that's this one. That's this line here. You're gonna remove that. I think we're just gonna route it later and zip tie it or something. I don't know, but it needs to reach the front part. Okay, what's next on the list? Yeah, remove the factory ABS bracket on the top of the control arm, the upper control arm. Next, install the brake caliper, brake rotor, and route the ABS onto the back side of the steering knuckle. To do this, you must loosen the clip. Okay, so I'm gonna put all that, reattach the sensor, and using the supplied Adele clamp. Okay, so the Adele clamps are those black ones. Those are the Adele clamps. And it's basically gonna look like this. So let me attach all that and get all this going. Sweating already. All right, it should kind of basically look something like this, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, results may vary. Next step. Anyway, where did I leave off? All right, we did all that. We loosened the ABS line, installed the knuckle, we installed the brake caliper, I installed the relocation brackets for the ABS line, I routed everything, routed it. Now it says, literally now, attach new tie rod end, supplied castle nut, and cotter pin. I'm not going to use their supplied one. Like I said, I don't know if the lens is dirty. So like I said, I have my own style. Here, I'll show you guys. Check this out. Hind joint steering tie rod ends. This is from a racing company called PRG. They only do custom fabrication of race cars for their race series, I guess, I don't know, but now they make these for Toyotas. I did paint it black. Little close up on what it looks like. Came with the misalignment spacers and everything. I think you can get different height misalignment spacers, but I think these are just a little taller than stock. So I need to take off these guys and put these ones on, and they're the exact same length, yeah, with the jam nut. Okay, I need to make sure my steering wheel is straight, take some measurements of things, and take those old ones off, put these new ones on. They come with all zinc plated grade 8 hardware. This stuff is nice, very beautiful. Okay, time to get these off. Well, 3 minutes later, it is now officially raining again. Okay, since it's raining, nothing to do, we're gonna wait till it passes. You guys know what time it is. Call of Duty time. All right, I'll be back. It's probably easier to just put the bolt on for the tie rod end. I believe this it's a 21 or 22. Just crank down on this sucker. There you go. Might want to use some oil on this thing. All right, then we thread the new one on. And there we go. I'm gonna take the measurements that I had, get this thing about where it needs to be, and take it to an alignment shop right away. Let's see what else is next on what step we need to do. Well, slight problem. There's always some kind of problem. This is the factory tie rod end. This is my Heim joint tie rod end. These two are the exact same size, height. The one that's provided by Fabtech is this one. But here's the difference. Darn. So that means that I need to take, because I really want to run these. This is way better than your typical tie rod end. I need to take this to a machine shop. I could cut it down myself with an angle grinder, but why deal with the headaches? Spend the money, do it right the first time, because if I mess this up, I have to buy a brand new one. So take it to an expert. I'm gonna drop it off at a machine shop, have them cut down this to match this. So they have to cut down the body and the Heim joint itself, the threaded part. So I have to put these back on, and then I guess I can get on with the build. There's always something. All right, hang on. Well, now that I put the Fabtech tie rod end on, which is about 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches shorter than the factory one, And same thing with my heim joint, it's shorter. So like I said, I have to take the heim joint to a machine shop, have them mill it down. They have to mill down the body and mill down the threaded part of the heim anyway. So that brings us to, let's take a look. Done with 37. 37 is the last part there you see, put on the supplied castle nut. So I did that, torqued it all down. Running out of time already. Let's see, next step is to, what does it say? Connect the factory bump stop, take off the factory bump stop, which I had already taken off a long time ago. And then we need to get the driver's side and passenger 70218 and attach the bracket to the factory bump position with the supplied 10mm by 25mm bolt and washer. Okay, using the 3/8. Okay, so basically what I need to do next is locate this guy. And this is something pretty cool. This little piece, not little, this thing is heavy, solid 1/4" steel. Oh my god. So, oh, there goes my package. Oh boy. The factory bump, oh no, that was the factory bump location. We're gonna use the bolt for there. They have a supplied factory bump stop that are smaller. This will tie in the frame with the rear lower cross member. So basically it's gonna go like that. This is actually for the driver's side. So let's see what it looks like on the driver's side. And let's see what it's gonna look like. This thing is heavy. So this is what it's gonna look like on the driver's side. Okay, just like that. Now that is, I don't know about you, but that is damn cool. It ties in the frame, strengthens the whole rear cross member, and then here's where the new bump stop is gonna go. So let me grab all the nuts and bolts for this, put it in place, and that might be it for today. It's already kind of late. So let me grab all the bolts, I'll be right back. All right, good morning. It is Sunday. I only have another day off. Anyway, I left off on number 37. But just to recap some things that changed. The original instructions says to torque the rear crossmember bolts down to 300 foot-pounds. I thought that was highly unusual. So what I did was I tried torquing it just at 200 foot-pounds to see what would happen. Lo and behold, at 200 foot-pounds, I bent the frame, I bent the rear crossmember, I freaking bent the hell out of everything. And that was only at 200. Right there. So what I did was I backed everything down, took everything apart. There's no sleeve in between that section. Because there's no sleeve, regardless of how thick it is, once you torque something down to 300, it's gonna fail. That's just the nature of being metal. It's not gonna handle. So I went on I went on BDS's website and I found their torque specs. I am gonna go with their torque specs instead. Front and rear cross members, I think the bolts are torqued to 155 foot-pounds. The driver's side drop down bracket down to 80 foot-pounds. The front drop cross member down to 95 foot-pounds. The rear diff mount to 95, rear cross member to 95, calipers to 91, tie rods to 41, axle, oh here, these guys. That was pretty consistent with Toyota and everyone else, down to 175 foot-pounds. That's more manageable, that's doable. Now, I did, however, put on the tie rod end, remember? I'm still trying to figure out if I can actually do a straight cut on my own, put it in some kind of metal chop saw or something. But to get on with the next part, this is the section I need to do, or I need to work on. I lightly put the bump stop drop bracket in, and the lower bump stop. So I just need to torque those guys down. And then step number 39 is to do the sway bar drop down bracket. So 39, 40, get the sway bar drop down bracket, install in with the hardware, the 3/8 hardware. Then to get the Heim joint adjustable sway bar end links, so I'm gonna do all that. You're gonna see me torque down or tighten up the bump stop drop brackets and install the sway bar drop down brackets. And it has to face forward. I just lightly installed one. Okay, so I just need to secure everything, put the sway bars on. I'll show you guys that now. So that's for the bump stop drop down bracket. Now for the actual sway bar drop down bracket. Wow, it definitely helps to have someone help you. So the drop down bracket was 39, attached the sway bar, that was 40. Now we're on number 41. So for 41, we need to start assembling the the Heim joint sway bar end links. So let me get everything together and I'll show you guys what that looks like. All right, the next step is to assemble the sway bar end links. You need this piece, flat side goes on the bottom. Basically, put your locking bolt on. Then we're going to insert this into the bottom. We're going to make it all the way in. And then we can make our adjustments from there. Now the bottom is going to need this misalignment spacer, the fatter one, and one of these other ones. And that's it for the bottom. And then this bolt will go in. So let me put together the top. Then we thread it in. Don't lose your spacers. Oh shucks, like that. Oh shucks. So that's going to be the challenge, trying to hold the misalignment spacers in while you insert the proper bolts. And the bottom is just gonna have 1, 2, and these insert in. It does not come with the silicone boot that goes over this whole thing to protect it. Some companies do give it to you, some don't. And I think you're just supposed to blast this thing with silicone once in a while just to maintain it. We need this bolt because it has this rounded pan head. This is going to go inside so it doesn't hit your suspension. So let me throw this all together and I'll show you what that looks like. All right, next thing you want to do is make sure your heim joint ends are straight before you lock it down. And make sure your ends are straight before you lock them down. Top and bottom. All right, that's it. Holy cows, the end is near. Next step is to double check everything, all your cotter pins, make sure you torqued everything down, try to move things around, cycle things, make sure everything's in the clear, do not forget anything, go over the instructions fully one more time. I already did all that. I readjusted my torque specs. I gotta find out what to set the lower control arm, the cam nuts. I think you're supposed to set them at 0 but go 45 degrees out in, so push it out 45 degrees. I'm not too sure. I need to do some checking on that. That's the only thing I need to do. Well, time to put on the tires now. I think we're done with the front. That is it for today. I am tired, wiped out. The truck is finally done. Well, the whole front end is finally done. I just need to really take it down to get alignment. First I need to do the rear. Keep in mind now, the shocks are not what they are going to be, so the height still needs to go up at least another inch. Here. The sway bar end links look good. The tie rod steering end, the tie rods are nice. Axle angles are nice. Lower control arm angles are nice. I still may put my own skid plate on. I need to still attach the cat shield from Maka that I got. But yeah, getting there. I'll try to have it done by next week. Order the new shocks, put it in. I'll bump up the front maybe an inch or so more. These are 35s. Everything looks good. I am tired. Thank you everybody for sticking around, and I'll see you guys on part 10. Is it? I don't know. It's Sunday. I'm tired. I need a rest. I'll see you guys. Take care.